For centuries, men and women have always been stereotyped to fixed roles and characteristics, which led to the perception that males were the superior sex. Men had more entitlement, and the movement to challenge this injustice was started by those who believed in gender equality. In 1837, a French philosopher and utopian socialist named Charles Fourier coined the word feminism. Merriam-Webster has defined feminism as the belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities. It is applied universally in politics, culture, society, education, and employment. Today, there are a wide variety of campaigns to promote women's rights and gender equality, but we will examine the HeForShe campaign in this presentation. The HeForShe campaign is a solidarity campaign for gender equality, launched by the United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and the Empowerment of Women, otherwise known simply as UN Women. Based on the idea that gender equality affects both men and women, it aims to involve more men in the continuous pursuit of gender equality and, inherently, women's rights. The HeForShe campaign also seeks to fix the misconceptions that feminism is the hatred of men and a movement by women for women. First, let's take a moment to consider how it hasn't been a prevalent issue in first world countries for several years. So, why do dozens of gender equality campaigns still exist? The answer is globalization. Advancements in technology have enabled countries to interact and communicate with ease, and subsequently influence each other. As a result, the world has become a smaller place where everyone is connected in an interdependent network. Thus, even though gender equality may have been achieved in first world countries, it isn't the end of the road since it is a global issue. The HeForShe campaign was initiated by a global organization and aims to liberate women across the world. Without globalization, the voices of women in underdeveloped countries wouldn't be heard, and they won't have any external aid from powerful international organizations like the UN Women. In The Transformation of Democracy, Peter Dahlgren writes that globalization can also mean transnational media activities. For example, public engagement with many international events, political repression, environmental disasters, famine, and so on, has been made possible by globalized media coverage. Apart from globalization, developments in technology have also resulted in more capabilities of the mass media and the creation of the internet. For advertisers, they are able to communicate their message to the masses for a lower cost and in a shorter time. For consumers, they have easy access to an infinite amount of information and are able to share their own content with a wide audience. The internet has also enabled the use of a many-to-many model for conversation, so consumers are no longer passive receivers of information, but can now interact with advertisers and each other. All these capabilities have led public discourse to now occur on a virtual space. As a result, it is no wonder that the HeForShe campaign used the internet as the primary channel to raise awareness for their cause. In Habermas, The Public Sphere and Democracy, A Critical Intervention, Douglas Kellner states that the proliferation of new media, including the internet, have multiplied information and discussion of an admittedly varied sort, and thus provide potential for a more informed citizenry and a more extensive democratic participation. The HeForShe campaign was launched on 20th September 2014 at the United Nations headquarters in New York. It was hosted by the latest UN Women Goodwill Ambassador, Emma Watson, whose speech was widely circulated online. As at the start of December 2014, the most popular video of her speech had over 6 million views on YouTube. It was reposted by several other users, including the official YouTube channels of the HeForShe campaign, the United Nations, and CNN, with a collective viewership of over 2 million amongst themselves. Other than the speech being shared and discussed on YouTube and Facebook, the HeForShe hashtag became a trend. People worldwide showed their support for the movement with the hashtag and the updates on social media like Twitter and Instagram. As at the start of December, the HeForShe campaign's official Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages had over 200,000 likes, 120,000 followers, and 23,300 followers respectively. Apparel for the HeForShe campaign was also created, with t-shirts with the phrase, "This is what a feminist looks like." Similar to the hashtag, people of all walks of life took pictures of themselves in the t-shirts and shared them via social media to show their support for the cause. Some of these people were influential personalities for a vast number of fans from all over the world, which leads me to my next point. The use of celebrity endorsements was a key factor that led to the prominence of the HeForShe campaign. Emma Watson herself is a famous actress who is renowned for more than just her acting skill. She is beautiful, smart, and humble, and is involved in other noble causes, making her the perfect advocate for this movement. Other notable names in a whole slew of celebrities that have publicly supported the movement include Benedict Cumberbatch, Harry Styles, Logan Lerman, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Jared Leto, Tom Hiddleston, Russell Crowe, Simon Pegg, and Neil Gaiman. I believe that in this age of commercialism and entertainment, celebrities have the power to sway the mindsets of the masses. In the transformation of political communication, Sandra Moog and Jeffrey Slater Beltrow contend that there will be a shift to more symbolic and image-oriented politics, towards more sensationalism, and towards the personalization of politics and the figures of celebrity leaders, due to television becoming the central medium for communication. The HeForShe campaign went viral and achieved a massive reach through its use of the internet and celebrity endorsements. In fact, as at the start of December, 195,000 men had pledged their allegiance to the cause, with the aim for the first 100,000 being reached within a mere 3 days. By July 2015, the UN Women hopes to have mobilized 1 billion males. Visitors of the official HeForShe website are presented with a number of ways to support the campaign. In addition to spreading the word via social media, they can also make donations to the UN Women to be used in the liberation and empowerment of women across the world. It also provides visitors with an action kit, which explains the entire campaign and makes a call to action for these visitors to operate their own version of the campaign, on a smaller scale in the form of school events and roadshows. UN entities and their officers are also motivated to launch localized campaigns. Funds raised by these social activists can then be donated to the UN Women. In virtual communities, Abort, Retry, Failure, Jen Fernbeck and Brad Thompson suggest that the virtual public sphere brought about by CMC will serve a cathartic role, allowing the public to feel involved rather than to advance actual participation. Evidently, the campaign planners are aware of this argument about the internet and have ensured that the public can do more than merely spread the word. Although the campaign garnered an abundance of positive views as a result of public discourse, it also received lots of negative feedback. False reports on Emma Watson's death were released and went viral. Cyber hackers from the infamous online forum, 4chan, even threatened to steal and leak her intimate pictures, but it was subsequently proven to be a hoax. Apart from the chauvinists and misogynists, other men felt that gender equality has been achieved and didn't feel obliged to take any extra action. However, the most remarkable response was from the women who also felt that they didn't need feminism. Most of them are from the Women Against Feminism movement, and although the campaign was not launched as a direct response to the HeForShe campaign, they still formed a significant amount of voices against the latter. It's without doubt that the HeForShe campaign created a huge debate for a wide variety of sentiments, and is, therefore, an exemplary reflection of at least one of Habermas's criteria for the ideal public sphere. The UN Women's HeForShe campaign for gender equality successfully communicated its message to the public and created a discussion that then influenced a shift in public opinion. I'm confident that the campaign can meet its objectives because champions of this movement all around the world have been rallied together against the oppressors of women.